Hello again and welcome to today's Sugardale Charge Chat. I'm Scott Zurilla. Glad you are with us. And it's a real pleasure to welcome to today's chat both Cleveland Cavaliers two-way players Matt Mooney and Dean Wade, along with player development coach Sam Jones. Guys, great to see you again. How you doing today?
Doing good.
Yep, doing good.
Great to be seen, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, it is great. Well, guys, before we get into the questions here that have been submitted, we want to, of course, welcome in all of our Charge Nation members, corporate partners, and all of our Charge fans that are joining us here today. So let's get right to it, and let's get to the questions. First up, Dean, this is going to be for you. It's from Jeff Schwartz, who is heading into his 10th year as a courtside season ticket holder. Jeff, thanks for your loyalty over the years. Dean, his question to you is, how is your game better playing alongside a legitimate five on the floor? Now, he didn't say Cavs or Charge, so Canton, of course, that would be Marquise, the Cavaliers, Andre and Tristan, guys like that. How would playing alongside big guys like that help your game?
It helps so much just having a big presence inside just like that, especially Queese, play with him more than I play with the other guys. But, even if you get beat, you know that he's behind you on defense, altering shots, just his whole presence there. And then when on the offensive end, just having him there for drop-offs, offensive rebounds, all that, just, it opens it so much up for everybody else on the court. So, he makes the game so much easier for everybody.
And Jeff, of course, wants to thank everybody for having such a great season this year. All right, we're going to move on. It's one for Coach Jones and one for Dean. These questions come from Mitch Reese, who's a season ticket holder. Mitch was with us last week, so Mitch, welcome back. Coach Jones, first for you, and I agree with him on this one. Congratulations on getting your position with the Cavaliers. Question is, and this is a good one, what responsibilities do you have as a player development coach with the Cavaliers? What does that entail exactly, Coach?
Okay, well, Mitch, thanks for the question. Like I said, it's great to be seen. It's great to be here. So, and thank you for congratulating me. Obviously, it's a dream come true, right? Getting bumped up, coming through the Charge family, and getting bumped up to the Cavs. It's been a dream come true for sure. My responsibilities are twofold, actually. The title is player development coordinator. So the coordination part comes in with Dean and Matt, basically trying to coordinate their travel in between Canton and Cleveland. When do those guys need to come up? When do those guys need to stay down? Do we need it for practice? Do we need it for games? So I, together with Brendan Yu, our general manager, try to help coordinate that. The player development piece comes in with in Cleveland. I'm helping out with Kevin Porter Jr.'s development together with head coach J.B. Bickerstaff. We work with him intimately every day. Trying to develop his game and some of the holes in his game, try to improve those things. And same thing with Matt and Dean when they come up, try to help those guys develop certain skill sets.
All right, and the next question from Mitch is for Dean. Dean, he says he really enjoyed watching you play in Canton this year. How do you feel the G League has helped your game? And what do you feel you need to improve on in order to play full-time in the NBA? And before you answer that, Mitch wants to thank all three of you for providing such a fun season this year. When we can see you on the basketball court in the playoffs again real soon.
Shout out, Mitch.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch. The G League is fast-paced, physical. It's run and gun, and you really learn just different offensive sets, like how the NBA runs their sets and all that kind of stuff, and how different teams play different ways. And you just learn so much through the whole season. And the biggest thing I probably learned was it's an everyday thing. You got to come in every day. There's no days off. You just got to come in and fight every day. And that's one thing that I really took out of the G League, and hopefully I can bring that up with me later on. But, what I need to get better at is probably just defensively get stronger, just watch the game more, just learn more about the game, more film, all that stuff, just sharpen up everything that I have, and hopefully, I'll get a chance.
All right, very good. Let's move along. We will go to Kim and Lori Clark. They're both founder members. Thank you for that, ladies. Question is from Kim. Again, she says she's a founders member. As a matter of fact, her and her friend Steve Underwood were on the panel to choose the name for the Charge. I think that's so cool. I'm glad she told us that. Thank you, Thank you, Kim, for that. Now, this question is for Coach Jones. Now, Coach, one of the reasons she said that the Charge was so successful this year with the free throw shooting and the defense, will this again be a priority moving forward? Help get the Charge back into the playoffs, win a championship. So go Charge, and thanks for the time.
Well, great question, Kim. I think as far as the free throw shooting is concerned, that's all on the players, right? It's less tactic, right? If you recruit the players that can shoot the ball very well, that kind of takes care of itself. And the two guys that are on the call right now, Dean and Matt, are pretty good free throw shooters, so that definitely helps. As far as the defense is concerned, also, right, it's about the players. We had, in my opinion, the defensive player of the year the last 2 years is Sir Dominic Pointer. You had guys like Matt Mooney, who came in with a defensive mindset. Dean Wade, who can switch 1 through 5 defensively. So we had an elite level defensive team this year, and I think Nate did a good job preparing those guys day in and day out to focus on the defensive end. You know, a lot of coaches only focus on offense in practice, and I know how Nate runs his practice. It's a balance, right? They do an offensive segment and they do a defensive segment and try to make sure guys are locked in on the game plan. And we have personnel like we had this year in Canton. It's hard not to defend. We have some guys that can really, really defend. So, of course, that's going to be the focus moving forward.
Man, I want to bring you in real quick before we get to the next question. You shot over 86% from the free throw line. You know, some guys are good free throw shooters, some aren't. What do you attribute to being a really good free throw shooter like yourself?
You know, in college I was decent, but I think this is going to sound weird. But this season I really was focusing on my free throw in the off season, and I was focusing on my breathing. And you know, every shot's the same. You know, when you go to the free throw line, you want every shot to be the same. But I really focused on my breath was the same every time. So I would breathe out as I go down. And it just helped me, like, to really make it exactly the same every time. It's kind of weird, but that's something that helped me this year.
Wow, that's the first time I've ever heard that talking to anybody about free throw shooting. That's fantastic. All right, we're going to move on. This next question will be for all three of you, so we'll take turns. It is from David Garner. He has been with the organization as a fan since the first game. So, David, you and I go back to game number 1. So, welcome aboard, and glad you're with us still all this time. Question number 1, let's start with Coach Jones here. We're going to go and, Coach, how different is it now for the guys? Actually, now that I look at it quickly, Sam, I got to take you out of this. This is more just for the players. Okay. It is so, Dean, we'll start with you. How difficult is it to play with different teams on a day-to-day basis? And by that, they mean, of course, Cavaliers at night, Charge in the morning, vice versa, shoot-arounds, practices, back and forth up 77. How difficult is that for you?
You know, at the beginning, it was tough. It really was. You know, for me personally, I was really, really close with the G League guys like JP, Queese, Mac, all those guys, and then come up and be with the Cavs in the afternoon or something like that. It was tough just being back and forth because we ran the same sets essentially, but every team had a different wrinkle in it that it was hard to remember which one was which. But as the season got longer and we kept going back and forth, you know, it was just another day, really.
How about you, Matt?
Yeah, it is difficult. I think you get used to playing with certain guys, and you know what your teammates' games are. You know where Dean likes to catch and shoot and what he likes to do. He likes to pick and pop. And, you know, you go up, play with the Cavs. And I mean, I didn't really play much with the Cavs, but even in the G League with different guys coming in and out, it is difficult because you can't really get that rhythm of playing with the same guys every game. But the easy part is all the guys are talented players and good players and, you know, mostly know how to play. So that makes it easier.
Can I chime in?
Because, yeah, I was going to say you absolutely can.
No, you can't.
Chime
in.
Come on, Mooney. I was about to give you a shout out too. Z-Man, forget about it. I don't want to chime in anymore. No, I think those guys, the two-way guys, not only, of course, our guys in Canton, but across the league, have the most difficult job in sports, right? Like you said, switching between two teams, not knowing if you're going to be in this city today, another city tomorrow. Playing with different players, like Dean said, different strategies. But hats off to these guys. They did it like pros. And for me, it was very the back and forth was almost it was meaningful, right? I get the chance to bond with Matt Mooney a little bit, bond with Dean Way, get to know them a little bit in a car ride up 77, as you mentioned, D-Man. Those were great car rides. So from that aspect, I enjoyed it. But I take my hat off to these guys because it's a difficult challenge.
Those are some good car rides.
Some good car rides for sure.
Great
Welcome all of our listeners and viewers on today's Sugardale Charge Chat. Let's move on. This will be for all three of you, absolutely. Let's see. We'll start with Matt on this one. How difficult is it for you to keep your basketball skills up with the pandemic restrictions? That question is for John, who's been a fan and a member of the organization for 9 years. So, John, thank you for that.
Thanks for the question, John. It has been difficult. I've been getting into different gyms in the Chicago area for the past, couple of weeks to a month. And every time I think I find a gym that could be consistent for me, we get kicked out. So, but up to this point, I've been able to find a gym each day. It's just the gyms aren't the best gyms, but I've been able to find one. So it is difficult, but I think you figure out, how much you really love the game and how much you still want to improve. Because if you do, I think for me at least, I can find gyms somewhere or I can figure it out. But it's hard because keep getting kicked out and, you don't have access to a weight room or to the times you usually have access to. So it's definitely more difficult.
John, that's a great question. You don't have to worry about Matt Mooney getting into a gym. The reason Matt Mooney got kicked out because he actually snuck in the back door. Okay, he's a gym rat. He's going to find a gym to get in. That's why he got kicked out. If you really want to know the real story, John, that's why Matt Mooney's getting kicked out. He's going to say,
Sam, while you're talking, I want you to give your input because, you're a guy that you've got to help the guys keep their skills up to pace. What are you doing to help the guys, if anything, from afar?
Listen, that's a great point. Initially, we put together player development packages for the players to kind of look at while they're doing their workouts, give them kind of a gauge to look at. But for me, listen, I was in my basement yesterday and I grabbed the ball trying to feel the ball a little bit because I have to, demonstrate some of these drills for these guys eventually. And I'm actually thinking about jumping on some Zoom chat with these guys and doing some ball handling drills with these guys just so they can feel the ball a little bit.
Dean, how about you? You've been sneaking into any local gyms when you had an opportunity?
I've been bouncing around a little bit, same as Matt, just been, one after another. I was in one for 2 days in a row, and that was the longest I got. And then they said, you got to kick it. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here. And then, but, the only real consistent thing is have some weights in my garage and doing some, jail yard workouts in the garage every day and just things like that. But, when it comes down to it, just go over to the park if I have to. I've done it a few days and got a little goal over there. So, it really does just show you how bad do you want it. And, we got all day to figure something out. So we're going to figure something out. But, I'm hoping here soon there'll be a gym where I can, come in consistently day in, day out. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, up next. Now, this is going to be kind of a follow-up to the question we just talked about for both Dean and Matt. This comes from Chuck Taylor and his grandson, Preston, who were with us last week. And he wants to shout out his Charge rep, Jan Burke. They've been Charge members for 3 years. Chuck and Preston, welcome back. Dean, we'll start with you. Again, similar to what we just talked about, but what's your daily home workout and practice like during the routine, the quarantine? Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing? And what else have you found yourself doing to keep yourself busy during the pandemic?
So, wake up and I usually eat breakfast, eat a smaller breakfast, go out and lift in the morning with, D Mills sends us some stuff, send us some extra stuff. So that helps a lot. And then send us a few workouts. I've been doing workouts like that and then come in, have a big breakfast. And then from then I just try to text people and see what gyms I can get into. And when I get into one, work out for a few hours. Then when I come home, my old man, he's got little chores around the house, little things he always wants to do. So he just takes me along with him, He's been building stuff. So I've been really like helping him and stuff like that. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm usually just playing video games or on the phone with somebody trying to just, keep my mind occupied.
How about you, Matt? What have you been able to get done here and there? And when you don't have something to do, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've actually been able to keep myself pretty busy. I got 4 siblings. They're all home with me too. My brother, my sister are home from college. They came home. My older brother lives here, and then I got a younger sister in high school. So it's nice to be back together. We haven't, I haven't been back around in a long time. So that part's nice. So we keep each other company. We compete with random stuff. But no, every day I figure out what time I'm going to get in the gym and what gym I'm going to get to. One of the gyms I go to at night because that's the time when it's dark. You can, get in the gym. Nobody sees you go in. So that's kind of been my daily gym routine. And then I'm kind of switching it up between yoga, going for runs, and then I got some weights. Like Dean was talking, I got some weights in my house. I just do some, some jail yard workouts type of stuff, push-ups and curls, that type of stuff. So every day I'm doing one of those 3 for the most part. And then I've been able to read a lot and read some scripture, get in the word a little bit, and, try to learn. And then other than that, I've been trying to stay in touch with my friends and with people, just trying to maintain those relationships.
Good stuff, both you guys. All right, let's move on. This is from Tim Wenzel, member for 6 years. Tim, thank you for that. Sam, I think this is best geared toward you. How many times can a two-way player, meaning Matt and Dean, how many times can they be called up by the Cavaliers?
That's a great question. So at the start of the season, they're limited to they can go through the entire training camp with us. And then once the NBA season starts, they're limited to just 45 days practice and or games in the NBA. So that's one of the difficult things we're trying to manage. We were talking about earlier, coordinating their travel back and forth between Canton and Cleveland, because you only allow 45 days in the NBA. And then once the Canton Charge season is over, then they can jump on to the end of the season with the NBA and or playoffs, and that's unlimited. So unlimited in the preseason, unlimited post G League season, but during the actual season, they only get 45 days up with the NBA team, because they figured, listen, if you need the guy 46, 47, sign him to a full NBA contract, right? And those 45 days should be enough to get them that experience in the NBA to either practice with the team or play with those guys.
Excellent. Next question is a generic one in our question queue. It's from Matt. Matt, really, it's just basically just talk about the great year that you have had, from the national championship game to becoming a professional, to going from just one successful team to another. It's been a pretty fun year for you, hasn't it?
It's been a fun year. It's been a good experience for me. It's a lot of ups and downs. I've learned to be patient and stick to the process. We lost that national championship, so that was really tough, but it just kind of struck a motivation, some hunger in me to, keep on working and try to pursue the pros, try to play at the highest level. And, didn't get drafted, went to summer league, got a little taste of the NBA with training camp in Memphis, and got waived and was playing G League. And, my big goal for this season was just to continually get better. And, I had to try to develop as a point guard. So then when Canton picked me up, or when Cleveland picked me up, that was obviously, I was extremely excited. I was going to get a chance to hopefully get some NBA time and, get called up. But they were great in bringing me in and, giving me playing time, working with me, and, showing me the system and, playing me primarily at point guard and allowing me to really work on my point guard skills. So, this year was for sure a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. And, Sam works with me a lot. Sam, he's really good at what he does. And these guys have helped me get better, every day.
Excellent. All right. Last one. This will be up for all 3 of you, and I'm curious to hear these answers from each of you guys. Dean, we'll start with you. What was your welcome to the NBA moment you had with the Cavs. Of course, you were with the Cavaliers for 12 games this year.
It was a real early in the season. The only thing we said was no threes, no threes. I was like, all right, whatever. And so I got on top of K Love, like literally I was on top of him. And they ran a screen, and I don't know what he did to me, what movement, where he hit me. All of a sudden, Kevin Love was just open in the corner for three, and he hit it right in the middle, like right at the end of practice. I was like, I don't even remember how he got open. Like I was right there, and that was like the moment I was like, oh, okay, well, this is why this guy was, all-star and all that stuff. So, but that was definitely my NBA moment.
That's great. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really know if I have one yet, because
You were
I
on the
haven't
Cavs
really.
for 4 games.
Right, 4 games. I didn't really play much, and usually your welcome to the NBA moment is, from what I've heard, is that he torches you. It's like get torched by somebody who, everybody in the league is pretty good, but there's some guys who are special. But I don't think I've had my moment yet. I've had the moment where I'm sitting on the bench watching guys. I'm like, wow, that guy, like Bradley Beal was really impressive. And, we didn't think he was going to play, and he played on a back-to-back. And like the night before, he had apparently turned his ankle. And then, before the game, they said he's playing. And then he had I believe he had 38 in the game. And I was like, this dude is pretty darn good. I thought he should have been an all-star. But that moment, I was pretty impressed with Bradley Beal.
And Sam Jones, you didn't play this year, but you've been with the organization for a couple of years. Have you had one?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my welcome to the NBA moment was before I even made the NBA when I was with the Canton Charge. Year one, the Cavs were coming off that championship season in 2016. I came in the fall, and as I mentioned before, the coaches from the G League are allowed to go through training camp with the Cavs, and then we go back and play our 50-game season. Then we come back, and then we watch. We tag along for the playoff run with the Cavs. So my welcome to the NBA moment. Practice day one. I walk in. It's LeBron James. It's Kyrie Irving. It's Kevin Love. Fresh off a championship season, and the level was incredible. Just LeBron's communication, his leadership, the individual skill work was good. And then at the end of practice, it was time to scrimmage. And I was sitting there looking like, am I really watching the defending champions go? And the way they competed, I was oh my goodness, unbelievable. So that was my welcome to the NBA moment, just watching LeBron and Kyrie kind of do their thing fresh off an NBA championship. And then this year, obviously, moving to the bench once the coaching change happened, I got to the back of the bench, and that was a wild moment for me too. So,
good stories. Guys, we're going to do a quick 5 fast ones. I want to ask you each 5, just for the players. So I only have 2 sets for 5 questions. So give you a 1 or 2 word answer, best you can. It's all for fun. Question is, Matt, do you want personal edition or do you want the team edition? I'll go with you first.
Personal or team?
Yeah.
2 seconds, Matt.
Go personal.
We're going to go personal. All right, here we go. Matt Mooney, 5 fast ones. Question number 1. You have 3 bowls of ice cream in front of you, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. In what order do you eat them?
Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry.
All right. The last movie you watched?
I can only imagine.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but I don't need to know.
Yeah.
If you were not a basketball player, what would you be doing?
I'd be an entrepreneur.
Okay. Pick one of the 3. You're going to skydive, swim with sharks, or run with the bulls.
Skydive.
All right. And this might be the easiest of all. Favorite meal?
It's not the easiest. Favorite meal? I like steak and potato, and some veggies.
Pretty simple. All right.
Yeah.
Dean Wade, you're next. Do you want the personal or do you want the team?
I'll go with the team since I heard the personal.
All right. That's a good answer in and of itself. Okay, 5 fast ones. The team edition. Here we go. Number 1. None of this is personal. Who is the funniest player on the Charge?
JP.
Okay. Who eats the most?
That's a good one. Levi probably. Levi could put it down.
Now, this is for road games. Who takes the longest to shower and dress and get ready and get on the bus so we can finally go?
Malik.
Okay. Who has the most pairs of sneakers?
Man, that's a tough one right there. Max got a lot. Malik's got a lot. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm going to have to go with Mac. I haven't seen. Or Levi. Yeah, let's go with Levi.
There's no wrong answer. And the last one, this will be the tough one. 5-hour flight cross country. We've got a West Coast trip. Who do you not want to sit next to for the entire 5-hour trip?
Marquise or Allen?
Can you share
Yeah.
why?
Because Queese's knees are like the sharpest thing on this earth, and those bad boys are everywhere in a flight. And he's too big. He's too big to be sitting next to me.
That's funny.
Sam, I'd love to get you in, Sam. We'll have to get you on the next episode because we're running out
Get
of time.
Sam in there.
Don't get me in. Don't get me in. Just let me say something, though, Z-Man. Thank you.
Please do.
Thank you for facilitating this. You are the unsung hero. You've been here since day one. You do a great job. No one shouts out Z-Man. Big shout out to you, Z-Man. Thank you for facilitating this. I appreciate you, buddy.
Well,
Hey,
Yeah,
shout out
thanks,
to
Z-Man.
Z-Man.
Yeah,
love
big
hanging out with you
Z-Man.
guys, and I do miss you. I really mean it. I love sitting on the scoreboard, on the scorer's table, and seeing you guys come out. It was a great year. My goodness, 29 wins. The franchise record was 31. We were ready to blow past that. We've won 8 of 10 games, did 10 in a row at home. I mean, just a fantastic season, great bunch of guys. So I want to thank you for making my job easy all year long as well.
Awesome.
Thanks, Z-Man.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. Always great to catch up with you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the time. All the best. And we hope to see you out on the basketball court real soon.
Absolutely. Charge Nation, stay safe. Stay safe. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see you guys.
Yeah, see you
That's
guys.
going
Thank
to do
you.
it for today's Sugardale Charge Chat. I'm Scott Zurilla. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next time. But until that time, stay safe, stay home, and we want to talk to you next time right here.